Yo, 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 what it do, everybody? This is your boy, the Black Gandhi, bringing you another video today. We're going to be ranting a little bit, so let's get right into it. Before we get to the main subject of the video, I want to talk about something that I just found on Twitter. Apparently, according to Adrian Wojnarowski, Paul George has made his intentions clear to Indiana, saying that he is going to be leaving the franchise after the upcoming season when he gets scheduled to become a free, unrestricted free agent, and he prefers to go to the Lakers. What this does now is that this prevents anybody outside of the Lakers to trade for Paul George. As we heard um, during the finals, a lot of people were saying that the Cleveland Cavaliers should make Paul George a primary target. If I was the Cavaliers, I wouldn't take that risk for a 1 year rental, losing out on Kevin Love. So like I said, unless if you're the Lakers, I wouldn't even try to make a trade for Paul George. I'm not really surprised. We all knew this was true months ago, but at least he's made his intentions clear now. So, all right, the ball's in the Pacers' court now. It's up to the Pacers now to see if they can find a team dumb enough to freaking take Paul George on a rental when they know that, even though they know that he wants to go to the Lakers. So we'll see about that. But I want to talk about something else. Obviously, if y'all are new to the channel or y'all new to knowing me, I'm an avid Boston Celtic fan, been a Celtic fan pretty much my whole life. And yes, last night, the Celtics and the Philadelphia 76ers did a trade to swap first round picks this year. So the Philadelphia 76ers will now have the number one overall pick. The Celtics will move down to three, and then they'll also get a pick, a future first round pick. It will either be the 2018 Lakers first round pick or the 2019 Sacramento Kings pick in the first round. The Celtics get the Laker pick if the pick falls between 2 and 5 in next year's draft. If it does not, then Philly will get that pick back, and the Celtics will then get the 2019 Sacramento Kings pick. And my first initial reaction to that was it was a tall tale sign that the Celtics are looking to make a big move. Maybe do a package of Jay Crowder and 3 first rounders to the Chicago Bulls potentially for Jimmy Butler. But another rumor arises. I saw 2 different sources actually post this that the Celtics might actually try to be making a play for Anthony Davis, which that would be amazing if the Celtics are somehow able to pull that off. I don't think they will, just because of the simple fact I don't think AD is on the trade block anyway, and he's not scheduled to become a free agent anytime soon. Plus, they just traded for DeMarcus Cousins as well, so they're going to try to make that work at least one more year before they make any decision about that. But it is an interesting thing if we can somehow pull that off, but I don't think we will. My more realistic target is Jimmy Butler, Jay Crowder, and 3 first rounders. I think that'll be more than enough to go ahead and get Jimmy Butler. And the other thing that really told me about this is that the Celtics aren't as sold on Markelle Fultz as everybody else in the country seems to be. And the thing that gets me is that these salty ass fans, these so-called salty ass Celtic fans, they're really mad at Danny Ainge because they traded the number one overall pick. Um, I guess everybody must have given up on Isaiah Thomas, right? Because they must have forgot that we have 3 point guards already on the roster, and we have a deep guard rotation as it is already. So where was Markelle Fultz going to fit in without making a trade? Hmm? That was the reason why I wasn't as hyped about getting the number one overall pick as pretty much everybody else, because I already knew that with this particular draft, all the top players were point guards, and freaking we don't need another point guard unless if we were going to move Isaiah Thomas. So what this tells me is that obviously the Celtics aren't as sold on Markelle Fultz as everybody else seems to be. And I don't see why people are even sold on Markelle Fultz anyway. Okay, he's a numbers guy, but he only won 9 games in college. But we're supposed to turn that over and let him be the leader of the franchise, right? Dude doesn't play defense. He's just a taller Isaiah, essentially. So, like I said, this was only going to work in terms of getting Markelle Fultz if freaking the plan was to move Isaiah Thomas. What this tells me is that the team is committed to Isaiah. They want to keep him long term. And freaking they're trying to make a move for a star player, whether that's Jimmy Butler, Anthony Davis, or maybe they even have somebody else in the books, in the works. But that's my take on it, man. Like these Celtic fans are acting like the draft already passed and friggin' nothing happened. Like the draft hasn't even happened yet. Wait until the draft is over, and then if nothing still hasn't happened, then get mad. But in my personal opinion, the Celtics are working this in a multitude of ways. Obviously, they weren't as sold on Markel Fultz as everybody else. Second, they really want Josh Jackson. So even if they can't make a move to get Jimmy Butler or Anthony Davis or whoever else they might have planned trying to get they can at least get the guy that they wanted, Josh Jackson, who makes Jay Crowder or Jaylen Brown more expendable to trade. So you could go ahead and try to get a star piece. Because who knows, maybe there's a way that the Celtics can get Josh Jackson and still move Jay Crowder and 3 of our future first round picks to still get Jimmy Butler. And pretty much at the end of the day, I know how these fans feel because I've been like that for a long time with Danny Ainge. I've wanted Danny Ainge's job pretty much since like 2004, 2005, where there was rumor that he was about to fire Doc Rivers, and I'm like, why? He's like the best coach we've had in a long time. Why in the world are we going to fire him? Former coach of the year. Got an Orlando Magic team where their best player was Tracy McGrady and pretty much nobody else. Grant Hill wasn't healthy. It got them to the playoffs. Couldn't get past the first round, but they got to the playoffs regardless. So why in the world are you going to fire this guy? Who the freak do you think is out there that you're going to bring in that can upgrade over that? Besides Phil Jackson, which we all knew he wasn't going to be coming to Boston. And then obviously a multitude of bad signings that he's done over the years. With the top one, in my opinion, really being Stephon Marbury. Horrible trades. Obviously the Jeff Green trade. Not necessarily because we got Jeff Green, but because of the center that we decided to trade in that in 2011 when we had Kendrick Perkins, Shaq, and Jermaine O'Neal on the roster. We decided to obviously go with Shaq, even though he had no knees left. Jermaine O'Neal had barely played that year, and Kendrick Perkins was the only one that was really healthy at the time of the trade. He had just came back from his ACL injury. But they trade Kendrick Perkins and commit to Shaq. And we saw how that worked out. Anyway. And then I really wanted his job when at the time I thought that the Nets trade was the worst trade that's ever happened in Celtic franchise history. But looking back on it now, obviously, that was a great trade for us. And it's like Celtic fans confuse me because they get mad when Danny Ainge doesn't make a trade for a player. But now that he is in the process, it looks like, of doing just that, now you're mad and now you want the young player. Like, again, did you forget that we have 3 point guards on the roster already? Did you forget that we have 5 guards in our rotation? How is that going to work? How is a 6-guard rotation going to work? It's not going to work. And unless freaking, like I said, the Celtics' plan was to trade Isaiah Thomas, this was not going to work ever. Drafting Markel Fultz. I'd rather draft the best player on the board than Josh Jackson. A guy who's already an NBA defender. Who already can rebound the ball. Who's already a good scorer. All he has to do is work on his 3-point game, and he'll be a really good two-way player. I'd rather get that than to get another point guard when we already have 3 point guards on the roster. And unlike a whole bunch of other people, I guess everybody must have given up on Isaiah Thomas, even though it was Isaiah that led us to the Eastern Conference Finals in the first place, on a injured hip nonetheless, and the fact that he lost his sister before the playoffs started. Oh, but I guess, great story, but I guess it's time to move on from Isaiah, though, right? Please. Like, if you're going to get mad, at least wait until nothing happens to get mad. Don't get mad because of the initial trade. Get mad if nothing becomes of the trade. Then you can get mad all you want. If the draft passes by and they're not sold on Josh Jackson and they just draft the best player on the board and they did it and they couldn't get a trade for anybody, then I'll get mad. You have every right to get mad at that point, but don't get mad now just because everybody has the wool over your eyes that Markel Fultz is going to be a superstar in this league. He's not. I'm sorry. I didn't see it. He won 9 games in college. I don't care if you want to say how bad his team was. If you're really that good, you should be able to lead your team. It's college basketball, for crying out loud. It wasn't like he was playing at North Carolina or Duke or Florida or something like that. He was playing at freaking University of Washington. Not exactly stiff competition that you couldn't pull off. What, 20 wins? He won 9 games in college, y'all. He won 9 games. That's not a winner. That's not a leader of the franchise. And let Philly have him, because that's going to corrupt what they wanted to do with Ben Simmons. They wanted Ben Simmons to be the point forward. How you going to do that with a ball dominant point guard? Let him have him. Like I said, I'm not sold on him. The only player I am sold on in this draft is Josh Jackson. That's really the only player I'm really sold on. I haven't really seen enough from anybody else. Everybody else, in my opinion, needs significant work. The only thing Josh Jackson needs to work on is freaking as his 3-point percentage. If he could become an efficient 3-point shooter, he'll be the best player that comes out of this draft. And like I said, if nothing comes of this and they just grab the best player in their opinion on the board and it's not Josh Jackson, then get mad. Until then, let it ride. Let it ride. Because now Danny Ainge is being aggressive. Now he's freaking trying to get a star player. And now y'all still mad. Like, so what? Danny Ainge can't win now? Y'all got mad because he didn't make a trade. And now that he did make a trade, y'all mad again. Like, what do y'all want? What do you want here? Oh, you only want him to make a trade if it benefits y'all, right? Like, come on. Like, come on. As Celtic fans will try to tell me, freaking trust in Danny Ainge. Trust in him. Obviously, he has a plan brewing. He didn't just do this at the spur of the moment to be like, oh, a week before the draft, I'm just going to go ahead and trade the number 1 overall pick to Philadelphia for 2 first rounders. Like, obviously, he had a plan. Obviously, he wasn't sold on Markelle Fultz. And obviously, he saw that his logjam at the guard position on the team was a huge part in the reason why they're going to pass on Markelle Fultz. Trust in the process here. Trust in it. Watch. Markelle Fultz is not going to transit to the freaking player that everybody thinks he's going to, especially since he's going to Philadelphia. And freaking the watch. I'm pretty sure Danny Ainge has a trick up his sleeve. He's going to move that pick. He's going to somehow get Jimmy Butler, and it's going to be pretty much straight up for Jay Crowder. I just got that feeling. Or somehow if he pulls off Anthony Davis out of all this that's going to be crazy. Because that's what we needed all along. We needed a big man. We didn't necessarily need Jimmy Butler. We needed a big. So to get Anthony Davis to pair with Al Horford, the way they could play off each other, the way they play defense, the way they both stretch the floor, oh man, that's gonna be amazing. But that's pretty much all, man. Like it wasn't a big time rant, but people were just salty over this trade. Y'all got what y'all wanted. Danny Ainge is being aggressive. Now all of a sudden you don't want him to be aggressive. That's like he cannot win. Like he can't. So I can't believe that I actually made a video where I'm actually defending Danny Ainge, but I'm going to defend Danny Ainge for right now. Like I said, if the draft passes by and we don't draft Josh Jackson and we weren't able to trade for somebody, and we draft like De'Aaron Fox or that Croatian dude or Jason Tatum or something like that, then I'm going to get mad. Then I'm going to be mad. But until then, I got no choice but to trust in Danny Ainge. I gotta trust that he has a plan. I gotta trust that he wasn't sold on Markelle Fultz, which is why he made the trade. And I gotta trust that he has a plan brewing. Whether that's to make a trade for somebody or that they're sold on Josh Jackson, that they feel that he'll still be there at 3. At the end of the day, I gotta trust in that. So, like I said, if the draft happens and nothing happens, then I'll be mad. So that's all, y'all. If y'all enjoyed the video, leave a thumbs up. If you did, leave a thumbs down. Leave y'all opinions in the comment section below about the trade. And y'all opinion, do y'all think Markelle Fultz is going to be as good as advertised, even though he only won 9 games in college, especially going to Philadelphia? Yeah, that's pretty much it. So as always, have a great day, everybody. Continue to stay blessed. And this is your boy, the Black Gandhi, signing out. And to all the fathers out there, happy Father's Day, especially to my old man. Love you, Pop. Hope to see you soon. And stay blessed, y'all. Peace.